Amtrak's long-distance trains, besides being a fantastic way to cross America, are especially popular for their sleeper accommodations. The novelty of crossing the country in the luxury of your own private compartment is really something spectacular. While I'm not crossing the country today, I'll still show what it's like to travel in the Amtrak Superliner Roomette on board the legendary City of New Orleans. This train runs between New Orleans, Louisiana and Chicago, Illinois, but I'll be riding it on the final 2-hour segment from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois up to Chicago. So with that being said, let's head to the train station and get this journey started. We'll start today's journey at my campus apartment here at the University of Illinois. The train station serving Champaign-Urbana, Illinois Terminal, is perfectly visible right from my bedroom window, and after heading downstairs to the lobby, it's a roughly 15-minute walk from my apartment to the station. It's worth mentioning that the northbound City of New Orleans is scheduled to arrive in Champaign by 6:10 a.m. Unfortunately, today our train is roughly 2 hours late thanks to debris on the tracks near Brookhaven, Mississippi, causing a hefty delay the night before. It's a shame since the City of New Orleans actually has one of the best on-time performances in all of Amtrak's network. It almost always arrives into Champaign on time, sadly not the case today. Aside from serving 6 daily Amtrak trains, Illinois Terminal also serves Champaign-Urbana MTD buses in addition to intercity bus lines like Greyhound, Burlington Trailways, and Peoria Charter. The building also houses offices and a banquet hall on the top floor. This station was completed in 1999, replacing the old station right across the street that you will get a glimpse of once we depart. Amtrak trains are accessed from the second floor, and there's a reasonably large waiting area present with kiosks to print out your ticket should you want to do so. About 5 minutes before the train's scheduled arrival, passengers are allowed onto the boarding bridge. Unfortunately, there were no separate lines for sleeper and coach passengers. Everyone just kinda jumbled up together. This was surprising since Amtrak always separates, for example, business class passengers from coach. But the non-separation kind of makes sense because there aren't many passengers who book sleeper accommodations for such a short journey. In no time, our train pulled in, led by 2 of Amtrak's brand new Siemens ALC-42 Charger locomotives, number 311 and 313. This will be my first time ever riding a train pulled by these new engines. The sleeping cars on all Amtrak Superliner-operated long-distance trains are located at the front of the train. It was really cool to walk all the way down to the north end of the platform to the first car right behind the engines, where my room would be today. Most of the rooms in the Superliner cars are located upstairs. Our car today is a transition sleeper, which has 17 roomettes on the upper level and 1 accessible room on the lower level. This specific car does not have the larger Amtrak bedrooms, which are found in the standard sleeper cars. This morning I was assigned room 17 for the short trip north, but we'll take a closer look after we depart. Shortly after leaving Champaign, one of the attendants came by to invite me and the other Champaign sleeper passenger to the dining car for breakfast, since all meals are included in the sleeper ticket. The traditional Superliner dining cars are back in service on the city of New Orleans, and it was great to finally be inside one of these. It really is quite a cool feeling to be enjoying a meal at the table as you watch America roll by outside. Menus are provided both in the dining car and to every sleeper passenger in the rooms. Unfortunately, the kitchen had run out of everything by this point, so the only option was some cereal, which I was totally okay with. After a quick but welcome breakfast, I walked back over to my room. As mentioned earlier, we're in the transition sleeper, but what that means exactly, you'll find out later in the video. Now it's time for a detailed roomette tour. Alright, so here we are in roomette number 17 on board Amtrak Train 58, the city of New Orleans to Chicago. We are just departing Kankakee, Illinois. That was our first stop after Champaign and our second to last stop before Chicago. So we just departed Kankakee there. Still running about 2 hours or so late. So as you can see, we are in the roomette today. I was originally booked in coach class for this 2-hour trip up to Chicago. That ticket was $17, but last night I decided to pay the extra fee to upgrade to the roomette. It was a $67 difference in the ticket prices, so in total this roomette for the 2-hour trip to Chicago was $84 one way, which is not a bad deal considering last year when I took the same roomette from Chicago to Champaign, that was $170 ticket. So for the same, duration, same product, half the price, I think that's a pretty sweet deal. And also, I was considering it even before that because I already have a lot of luggage with me, my Pullman, my bag, backpack, and then another bag. So it would have been really challenging to store this in the coach compartment. And then combined with the fact that we're delayed, I didn't get much sleep last night, it just made a lot more sense to take the roomette this time, just to have that little peace of mind. So if you've seen my last year's video on this product from Chicago to Champaign, the product's exactly the same. I just thought that because of, first of all, the sweet deal, second of all, the fact that it's a daylight journey, you get better quality footage, I thought it would be cooler to make a video this time around as well. It's my first time in a little over 4 years taking Train 58 up to Chicago. It's the 6 a.m. train from Champaign getting into Chicago at 9:15 scheduled time. It doesn't actually take 3 hours, but they schedule it at a 3-hour journey to account for any delays. And today we are delayed by 2 hours, so technically we're getting into Chicago about an hour behind schedule at the moment, but we'll see what time we actually get there in about the next hour and a half or so. So let's start off with the tour. I don't want to make this too long. Of course, you have your 2 seats here, and they come with pillows on each one. When I boarded in Champaign, we had these little shampoo or soap bottles waiting on the seat for me. The shower is downstairs, so we'll take a look at that momentarily, I guess. But I don't think I got this last time when I took it from Chicago to Champaign last year. We didn't get these little bottles, so it's cool to see it this time. So you have body wash, shampoo, conditioner, and lotion, and then there's also 2 hangers here that were also waiting on the seat. I don't know if you can keep these. I doubt it. Or actually, I'm assuming they replaced them. They probably do. Obviously, they replace them every single time. What am I saying? So those were there. The pillow, of course, on each seat. These seats do fold down to make the lower bed down here. So what you do is that you just gotta push this little button here and it'll fold down. If you don't want to make the bed, both seats have a little bar down here to pull, and when you pull it, they recline. So there we go. The top bunk is right here. Let's take a look at that right now, actually. So it'll fold down like this, comes down, and then there is a reading light for the top bunk right there. And so this is where you have all the bedding and stuff for the long journey for those that are on this train for the overnight trips or whatever. The bedding is all up here. And as you just saw, the tracks are really, really rough on this stretch of track. I think the entire line from Chicago to New Orleans is pretty bad trackage. The tracks are not in the best condition. So To compensate, you know, the tracks in general, you're taking the train, it's going to be a rough journey, so to keep you safe, you have a little safety net here to keep you from rolling off the bed, or even if it's not a rough journey, people tend to roll over when they sleep, so you don't roll off the bed and fall down. You have the little safety net here, which is a nice addition. So and then there's also this here. I forgot what that's for. I guess you can put some stuff in there, a little net. So let's fold this back up, because we only have an hour until Chicago. We don't really need that. There's 2 coat hooks and a mirror, one mirror here. The first coat hook is right here, and then the other one is right here. And then on the top, just across from the top bunk, you have 2 towels. I don't think they're big enough for the shower, but you do get those. And then you have a little net, or not net, but a little strap to put your luggage. I guess you can do that there. And then I forgot to mention this, behind each seat or next to each seat, you have a little console. On this side, you have one reading light, and then the temperature controls, and then a little power outlet, which it says Razer only. I don't think anybody listens to that. They probably plug anything in there, to be honest. And then on this side, you have another reading light, your audio controls, old school style, and then your attendant call button. And it looks like you have another, what is that? Oh yeah, this is the light. Oh, okay, this is, I couldn't find, if you saw the last year's Superliner video, I couldn't, the roomette video, I couldn't find the light switch for this. So there, that's cool. It's pretty dim though, but I guess it'll get a little brighter as we go along. So there we go, that's that. Window side, we have 2 complimentary water bottles for you to keep, obviously. You have your literature, safety card, welcome aboard, paper, and then the menu like you saw earlier. The table here folds out. It's a bit stiff, so you gotta pull it with some force. Comes out like that, folds outwards. So I guess you could put a computer here. It's pretty sturdy. You can put a computer there, do work. Only downside is these trains don't have Wi-Fi. The long distance trains do not have any form of internet, so you'll have to depend on cellular data, your personal hotspot type stuff, if you're in an area with coverage, you know, to get work done, if at all. But you can eat here. As you can see, you can play checkers or whatever, chess on there. So pretty good stuff. So let's fold that back in there. What else? Over here we have the steps. They lead up to the top bunk when that is folded down. I didn't mention this in last year's roomette video. There is a trash bin down here, which I somehow missed. So you can pull it out like that and throw stuff in there. There's some trash from previous journeys, I guess, but yeah, good to see that there. It's really nice that they have that. And then of course a complimentary tissue box for you. Obviously, it's not for anybody else, just for you. So that is it, to be honest, for the roomette. I don't think there's anything else. I forgot to cover your AC, your air conditioning is up there. Mirror. We're passing through Manteno, Illinois. So yeah, we departed Kankakee about 10-15 minutes ago. Next stop, Homewood, in about 25 minutes, and we're still running about 2 hours late. So that was the roomette tour. Hope you liked it. I'll take a look at the observation car. This is my first time going to the observation car in daylight. Every other time I've taken this train, it's been nighttime, so I can't wait to go check that out. And yeah, let's see what else we have in store for the rest of this journey.
So you might recall that we're inside the transition sleeper, but what exactly does that mean? Well, the transition sleeper is usually the first car on any Amtrak long-distance Superliner train. It's called the transition sleeper because one end of the car has a lower level vestibule, while the other end has an upper level vestibule to connect with the other Superliner cars. This lower level vestibule would theoretically allow easy access to the baggage car, locomotive, or any single level piece of rolling stock. So in short, this car serves as a transition between the single and upper level equipment. Back upstairs, here's a quick look at the sole bathroom on the upper level. For all the roomettes on any Amtrak long-distance train, there looks to be only 1 to 2 showers per car. So
just something to keep in mind. There are also free coffee and water stations located in the middle of the car by the stairs. With that said, downstairs is where the other bathrooms can be found on the Superliners. Right across from the stairs is a small luggage rack, and then further down the hall are the bathrooms, with the accessible bedroom located all the way at the end of the hall. Surprisingly, even with this train being 18 or so hours into its journey, the bathrooms still looked relatively clean. One quirk of the transition sleeper is that the space that would normally house more roomettes in a regular sleeper car is instead the crew lounge, where the attendants can rest while off duty. My next order of business was to check out the observation lounge car, probably my favorite part of any Amtrak Superliner long-distance train. The lounge car was the fourth car on our train, so after a quick walk, I was there. As mentioned earlier, this is my first time in the lounge car during the daytime, and what a place this is. The larger windows on this car are really perfect for watching all the scenery go by, even if it's just Midwestern cornfields. There are both individual seats and table seating options in this car, with power outlets available in certain areas. As with most Amtrak equipment, these Superliners are showing their age, and this was very apparent in this car with some tired-looking overhead lights and wall panels. Time will tell when the lounge cars get refurbished, though. Alright everyone, so we just departed Homewood, Illinois, just about 45 minutes out from arrival into Chicago Union Station. Just thought I'd quickly show you what the perspective is like of getting up into the top bunk here. As you can see, I'm on the steps right now. It can be a pretty daunting experience, especially for first-time travelers on these Amtrak long-distance trains. It's a pretty awkward experience getting up onto the steps and then just kind of jumping into the top bunk here. So all I would say is just be really careful when you're stepping up here, especially if you're tall. I'm about 5'11", so understandably there's not a lot of space at all between your head and the ceiling, so just be really cautious when you're getting up here. And then when you do get up here, you kind of just have to lean yourself onto the bed. There's no other good way to put it. I don't see any handles anywhere that you could grab onto. So you just kind of have to step up and then just lean yourself onto the bed like that. And then you don't really feel that claustrophobic at all. There's a decent amount of space, as you can see, between you and the ceiling, and you also have all this space to the side. And then again, like I showed, there is that little safety net here that just does, prevent you from falling off. I'm not too sure how exactly to set it up. The attendant can do that, but if you ask them to. But yeah, otherwise the bed is pretty comfortable. I tried it out a little bit, putting this to the side, and it's not bad at all. So just wanted to briefly show you all that, and then we should be arriving into Chicago in a few moments. Oh, that's pretty cool. Kind of a horn battle with the Metro. We are really letting the Metro beat us. That's embarrassing. Wow. It's pretty weird. You can hear the Metro announcements from in here. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Metro just stopped. There we go. What station is this? 55, 56, 57th Street. A lot of track work, as you can see. That's why the engineer is blowing the horn so much. So we are now officially in downtown Chicago. We're just on approach into Union Station, but we've stopped briefly right here under McCormick Place. Not too sure what the reason is. I'm assuming there's some traffic up ahead that they're having us wait for, because normally the Amtrak trains do not stop here. Not that I've seen, at least from the many times that I've taken Amtrak. The trains do not stop right here under McCormick Place. They just bypass right through. It's a totally different line than Metra. Metra has their own stop here in McCormick Place. The tracks are just down there. The Amtrak trains have like an overpass that goes over. But yeah, we're just stopped here for the time being. Not too sure exactly why. I'm assuming it's just because of some traffic up ahead. So hopefully in a few minutes we'll be on our way. Alright, so after being stopped under McCormick Place for about 5 or so minutes, we are now on final approach into Union Station. So we pulled forward a bit. Now we're initiating the reverse move into Union Station. So yeah, final stretch of the journey. I believe the train we were stopped for under McCormick Place was 391, the southbound Saluki. It passed us on the other side, so I couldn't see it from here. But there's 391, there's us. So 391 is operating about 90 minutes later than usual because of track work. That's why we met with it up here in Chicago. Normally this train would meet with 391 near Homewood or something further south. But yeah, there we are passing the Chicago River above the bridge. And there you can kind of see the Amtrak shops, locomotive shops there. We'll pass by them in a few moments. But concluding thoughts, another fantastic journey on the Roumette. By the way, the sleeping cars are the first 2 or 3 cars of the Amtrak long distance trains most of the time. So naturally they're the first cars behind the locomotive. The noise from the engines today has been minimal. I haven't really heard any of the chugging noise compared to last time when the P42 right there, that locomotive type was leading. Obviously these are much older engines, so they make a lot more noise. So, oh, look at that one. That's got its part of it open. But yeah, there's, oh, that one's damaged. That Charger has got a broken windshield. But anyway, last year when I took the train 59 in the Roumette, our train was led by P42, and we were the second or third car behind the engine, and there was a lot of noise coming from it. The ALC 42s, the brand new long distance locomotives, those are leading this train, 2 of them. And so because they're newer, naturally they're a lot quieter. So the noise has been, like I said, barely any noise, which has been really nice. So just keep that in mind. The noise might be, if you have a P42 leading your train, the noise might be a bit much. Again, because the sleeping cars are the first cars behind the locomotive. But if you do get the ALC 42s, which will become more common on the long distance trains, you won't get much noise pollution from the locomotive, which is nice. So overall, great journey for $84. This is a a steal. Definitely the best way to travel between Champaign and Chicago. The aircraft, American Airlines was like $300 something a month back. Last minute tickets on American Airlines from Champaign to Chicago was about $500 something. So for 84 one way, this was brilliant. So fantastic experience with food provided and amazing sleeping car attendants. It was a great journey. And right there, that's a B32-8. That's one of the older locomotives primarily used for switching, and that's a P40 right there, number 816. You see that the older than the P42. You see the P42 behind it. Essentially it's the same locomotive, but the P40 has, I think, a little less horsepower, but the P40s are rare, so that was really cool to see. Yeah, I'm geeking out. My inner rail fan in me is just geeking out as we approach the platform here. So that's all I have to say about this experience. Really good. Highly recommend Amtrak Roumette. Not sponsored, obviously. Yeah, fantastic experience today. Hopefully soon I'll get to try this on a much longer trip and maybe in the Superliner bedroom next time. But for now, that's it from me today. Thanks a lot for watching. And now I will leave you to watch us arrive into Union Station. Alright, here we are, Chicago Union Station. Time to head out. Alright, thank you, room 17. It has been a pleasure. A really cool surprise on the back of our train today were two Northern Sky Charter private cars that date from 1955. This one, named Northern Dreams, is a dedicated sleeper car, and the other, named Northern Sky, is both a dome observation and a sleeper car. Private cars like this are chartered by people or certain companies and attached to Amtrak long-distance trains. As you can imagine, these cars are pure luxury and cost a fortune to travel in. But enough talk, we've reached the end of the line here in Chicago. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.